Greetings. Today's topic is: will Jamaica require immigrant workers from India or Haiti by 2025 to work in the hotel industry? We'll be discussing the above topic in today's presentation. And first, I'm making a request for you to support this channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing today's video. Also, feel free to take part in any discussions below. Today's subject for discussions are: 1. Jamaica is already facing shortages of hotel workers in some tourism hotspots. And 2. The government need to offer all-inclusive franchises on the South Coast of Jamaica. And 3. A new airport needed in the Southwest of Jamaica. And 4. It's an unconscious slavery mentality to expect families to live and work apart from each other. And 5, the government quasi fiscal policy on tourism will destabilize the family structure in Jamaica. Now, during the opening of the sectoral debate on the 18th of April 23, the Minister of Tourism made reference to the shortage of workers in the Jamaican hotel industry. The minister also made reference to the importation of goods and services within the same set of statements. There could be a hint there that the minister is thinking about immigrant workers coming to work in the hotels in Jamaica. At least that is the impression that I got from the speech. It's also something I saw coming and made reference to even before the above sectorial debate speech. Hence, if I could see the need for immigrant workers before it materialized, why could the government not see that their policies and strategies on tourism industry would lead to the need for immigrant workers coming to work in Jamaica tourism industry? While some rural towns and villages in Jamaica has up to 30% and 40% unemployment rates, leaving many to do all manner of casual hustling just to get enough food to eat each day. The reason why I mentioned India in the topic above is because India's GDP per capita is lower than that of Jamaica. They also have a very large population, and Jamaica has some historical ties with India. Hence, India would be one of the countries that Jamaica would look to if we need cheap labor. China is much more involved in the Jamaica's economy than India over the past few decades. However, Chinese workers may not be willing to do cheap labor in Jamaica as they would do in the past due to the economical development of China over the past couple of decades. 20 years ago, Jamaica GDP per capita would have been higher than that of China, and Jamaica would have looked to China for such cheap labor, maybe even 10 years ago. However, China's GDP per capita is twice that of Jamaica now, and there is a labor shortage looming in China due to the one-child policy that was established 40 years ago. I make reference to Haiti because they are the only country in the Caribbean with a lower GDP per capita than that of Jamaica. Hence, that's the only country in the Caribbean where Jamaica could find cheap labor. However, we have enough unemployed people in Jamaica. Hence, there should be no need for immigrant workers. The crisis is happening because the government is offering all the hotel franchises in a few parishes on the North Coast. The government should not expect the Jamaican people to leave their communities, for example, in St. Elizabeth, to go and work for a minimum wage job at a hotel in Montego Bay, etc. This practice is destabilizing families and communities and could be a contributor to the high crime rate in Jamaica. Children need to grow up with their parents and not being left to be looked after by their aunts, uncles, and grandparents, etc., to keep an eye on them. We know that sometimes the above is necessary. However, children should be looked after by their parents if at all possible. It should not be a government fiscal policy or strategy to expect people to leave one end of the country to go and work at the other end of the country. The government policies should be based on bringing the visitors to the people, not people to the visitors. We are still in the mental slavery mindset when we think it's the norm for people to leave their families and communities, then go and work abroad for 6 months out of the year, leaving their partners and children behind, oftentimes leading to the breakup of relationships, common law marriages, and even the breakup of marriages. It is the above breakup of relationships that leads to one parent household. Then it's the children who oftentimes suffers the most in these breakups, with many of those children joining gangs as a way of compensate for the family structure that they did not have at home. The government can help in this regards by promoting ecotourism in each parish of Jamaica, that the lower working class people in the rural parishes can get direct jobs in these hotels. Also, the indirect jobs in the tourism industry will stimulate local economy, making other jobs available for the local people as well. 6,000 hotel rooms in a rural parish will provide at least 6,000 direct jobs in the tourism industry within that parish. That rural parish will now be generating US $1 billion to the Jamaican economy, GDP, each year. It's not just the government's duty to figure out how the people will get to those hotels. The hoteliers know that what they are doing. However, I'll just say this. The only way you'll get a regular flow of USA and European visitors to travel from Montego Bay to St. Elizabeth would be to have the hotel coaches picking up the visitors and bringing them to an all-inclusive hotel in St. Elizabeth. Personally, I think that St. Elizabeth should have an international airport. And again, it would not be the government who would be getting the flights to an airport in St. Elizabeth. The government would be working along with the hoteliers who will make the deals with the airlines. This is what the hotelier Bush Stewart said he did in the 1970s and 1980s, making deals with airlines to get visitors to Jamaica. Most of the all-inclusive hoteliers in Jamaica are Europeans, and most of the airlines that come to Jamaica are owned by Europeans. Hence, where there are profits to be made, the hoteliers and the airliners will certainly be collaborating with each other on getting visitors to a new airport in Jamaica. The government needs to step up its game massively in the tourism industry. There are already too much lost opportunities because of the government's inability to implement the correct fiscal policy in the tourism industry. Policy that can double the Jamaican economy by the year 2030. The tourism industry needs to be spread out around the country to improve employmentability in many rural communities. Thanks for watching this video. To support this channel, please share and subscribe and leave your comments below. God bless you. God bless the Prime Minister and the Jamaican Parliament. And God bless Jamaica. Till my next video, peace.